Hello, my name is Jake McVeigh, and I am a freshman attending UTRGV, and today I would like to share with you a portfolio of assignments that I've completed in my English 1301 course. These pieces of work represent important moments in my development as a writer, reader, and student throughout the semester. The assignments I will be presenting are my writing reflection project, our critical introduction script peer feedback worksheet, our research journal number 1, and the learner profile project. Each challenged me in different ways and pushed me to grow academically. By the end of this video, I hope to show how these assignments not only strengthen my skills as a reader and writer, but also connected directly to our student learning objectives, or SLOs, as well as our writing behaviors and practices. In this portfolio, I will explain what each assignment required, how it demonstrated specific SLO values and writing behaviors, and how the work helped me learn more about myself as a student. Now that I have introduced the purpose of this portfolio and the assignments I will be discussing, I would like to begin with my first piece of work, the writing reflection project. For this project, we were asked to gather work that showed our processes, strengths, and areas for growth as readers and writers. We reflected on 4 assignments from weeks 9 through 13 and explained how each one demonstrated specific SLOs and writing behaviors. 2 major projects, the annotated bibliography and the theory of literacy research paper, were required because they played a key role in developing our reading, writing, and critical thinking skills. For my remaining assignments, I selected the self-assessment and checklist worksheet and the rewriting paragraphs activity, as both clearly demonstrated my use of revision, oral communication, and the writing process. After selecting our assignments, we wrote a script for a 7 to 8 minute long video essay where we analyzed each piece of work. Writing and filming the video required careful organization, clear explanations, and strong delivery. This process directly connected to the SLO of oral communication because I had to present my ideas confidently, adjust my tone and pacing, and make my reflections understandable for an audience unfamiliar with the course. It also aligned with the SLO of visual communication as I had to film myself and post a video of my presentation, which required me to consider camera framing, clarity, and how my visual delivery supported the content I was explaining. The project demonstrated the writing behavior of inquiry and information literacy. I had to revisit my assignments, reread my drafts, study feedback, and analyze how each piece aligned with the SLOs. This required me to ask questions about my choices, strategies, and evidence, helping me make informed judgments about my growth and better understand my development as a writer. Overall, the writing reflection project taught me a great deal about myself as both a writer and reader. It pushed me to look beyond simply completing assignments and instead analyze my patterns, habits, and progress. I realized that I read more intentionally, paying closer attention to purpose and structure, and that my writing improves most through revision and reflection. This project helped me better understand how I learned how to continue strengthening my skills moving forward. The next piece of work I want to discuss is our critical introduction script peer feedback worksheet that was completed in class. For this activity, we first created 3 questions or concerns we had about our delivery or oral presentation of our reading reflection project script. We then worked in groups of 2 or 3 and took turns reading our introductions out loud. While each writer presented, reviewers took notes on our vocal choices, pacing, tone, body language, and the clarity of our explanations for an outside audience. Afterward, reviewers responded to our questions and provided specific, honest feedback. Once everyone presented, we reflected on the feedback we received by identifying which suggestions we would use, which we would set aside, and how effectively we worked as team members. This activity demonstrated the SLO of teamwork because it required us to collaborate with peers, listen actively, and support each other's growth. We relied on one another to point out strengths, identify unclear areas, and offer constructive suggestions. Sharing responsibility for improvement and being open to others' perspective reflects the SLO of effective teamwork. This activity also connected to the SLO of written communication, as giving and receiving feedback required us to clearly express our ideas, explain our reasoning, and communicate suggestions in a way that was respectful, specific, and helpful for revision. It also demonstrated the writing behavior of revision and feedback. Sharing our drafts allowed us to see our writing from a new perspective, while listening to others' comments helped us identify places that needed stronger organization or clearer explanation. Giving feedback helped us think critically about what makes a reflection effective. This process showed that revision is more than fixing errors. It is an ongoing practice of refining ideas through collaboration. This peer review activity also helped me learn more about myself as a writer and reader. Hearing how others responded to my introduction revealed which parts were clear and which needed more detail or better structure. I realized that I sometimes assume my audience understands my context when they may need more explanation. Listening to classmates' introductions helped me observe what makes communication engaging or confusing from a reader's perspective. Overall, this activity taught me that I grow the most when I stay open to feedback and revision, which are essential habits for becoming a stronger reader and writer. Research journal number 1 was a Sunday submitted assignment where we were asked to fully engage with a text related to our research topic by making detailed, purposeful annotations. Each annotation had to be labeled, such as genre convention, organization, or connection, so we could understand the author's choices and track our own thinking. After annotating, we completed a content reflection where we summarized the article in 5 to 6 sentences, provided an MLA citation, and used quotes or paraphrases to explain the author's argument. We also completed a process reflection that asked us to think about how we approached the reading, which annotations helped us the most, and how our understanding changed as we read. This assignment was designed to help us become more intentional, reflective readers. This reading journal connected to the SLO of critical thinking because it required me to go beyond simply reading the text. I had to analyze the author's ideas, evaluate the evidence, and make connections between the text and my own experiences. Annotating pushed me to question the author's purpose and reflect on their rhetorical choices shape meaning. Summarizing and responding to key ideas helped me interpret information, draw conclusions, and form my own insights, all essential elements of critical thinking. The assignment also demonstrated the writing behavior of writing and reading process. It required me to move through the text step by step, reading, annotating, rereading, and then writing reflections based on my notes. Each stage built on the last, showing how reading and writing support one another. The more thoughtfully I read, the clearer and stronger my writing became. Overall, this assignment helped me learn more about myself as a reader and writer. I discovered that I understand text better when I annotate with purpose and use strategies like rereading or looking up information when I'm confused. As a writer, I realized how much my writing improves when my reading is active and intentional. This assignment taught me that I learn best when I slow down, ask questions, and use writing to process my thoughts, skills that will help me continue to grow in future courses. The last assignment, our learner profile project, was worth 5% of our grade. For this project, we wrote a one-page reflective letter assessing our strengths and areas for growth as college writers. We began by defining what college success meant to us, using class discussions and our early college experiences to shape that definition. Then, we identified one strength that would support us in this course, and one area of growth we wanted to improve during the semester. We ended the reflection by setting 2 specific goals to achieve by the end of this course and explaining how these goals would help us grow academically. The letter also had to follow MLA formatting, which reinforced the importance of writing with clarity, structure, and professionalism. Overall, the assignment helped us reflect on where we currently stand as writers and what we need to focus on moving forward. This project demonstrated the SLO of personal responsibility because it required me to honestly examine my habits, motivations, and challenges as a learner. I had to take ownership of my academic journey by identifying what supports my success and what holds me back. Setting goals and choosing an area of growth helped me recognize that college success depends on being self-aware and making intentional decisions that supported my learning. This assignment reminded me that improvement starts with acknowledging my responsibilities as a student. It also demonstrated the writing behavior of rhetorical awareness. Writing this letter required me to consider my audience, my instructor, and communicate my reflections clearly and professionally. I had to choose examples and explanations that made sense to someone who may not know my background and organize my ideas in a way that followed academic expectations. Every choice from tone to formatting was a rhetorical decision that supported the purpose of the assignment. Finally, this project helped me learn more about myself as a writer and reader by identifying my strengths. I recognized the habits that already helped me succeed, such as staying organized and asking questions when I'm confused. Acknowledging my challenges made me more aware of patterns like needing to slow down or reread that affect both my reading and writing. This project taught me that growth happens through reflection, honesty, and a willingness to adjust my habits. Understanding how I learn has helped me become a more intentional and confident reader and writer. In conclusion, the assignments I completed throughout this course have helped me become and understand myself as a reader, writer, and student. Each project pushed me to reflect on my habits, recognize my strengths, and identify the skills I still need to develop as I continue my academic journey. Although I have learned a great deal about my writing process and how I engage with text, there are still questions I am continuing to explore. One question that remains unanswered is, how can I push myself to consistently apply the strategies I've learned, especially when I feel overwhelmed or unsure? Another question I am still thinking about is what specific reading and writing habits will help me stay confident and motivated as my coursework becomes more challenging. These questions remind me that growth is an ongoing process and they encourage me to keep improving as I move forward.